Are we on?
Hello and welcome to Double Talk. I'm Mark Steffen.
I'm Michael Mandel.
Yeah, you're on.
We're on. You're on. You know, I think many people didn't realize that we are doing the show out by a beach, but that's why we're wearing all this beach attire.
Yeah.
I put this shirt on, you know, occasionally.
The window faces the ocean.
Yes, and but I wore this around the house because I'm afraid to go out when people will see me. So that's why I can do it here, because nobody's going to see me.
Well, I'm glad you wore your pajama top today. It looks stunning.
Yes.
Now,
we're going to talk about many things that happened. We had this great week last week, didn't we? Millions of things.
It was all windy. And,
all windy.
We had a lot of real estate from Arizona in the air.
Yeah, it was tasty.
Now, in today's show, Michael will be here for the first half. For the second half, I have a special guest coming in. We're going to talk about the community of hope and the showcase of homes. And
I hope she gets here.
All kinds of things happening.
With this weather, it's just
you never know.
Because she does an air-powered car. You know, that is based on wind, because she's very energy.
You mean we finally got flying cars?
Yeah. Instead of solar cars, air-powered. So hopefully she'll get here. Wind's facing right, and that
well, this show's powered by your wind, obviously.
Well, somebody's doing it. Where else do we get
power?
We're talking. This is going to be the Earth, Wind, and Fire show, but the fire would be the electricity. So we want to talk about the power lines that SunZia wants to put across the top.
They're going to stretch from Arizona to where?
Whatever's on the other side. Someplace in
Texas?
Someplace like that. But the whole point is they want it to go through just to be easily done, so they don't have to cut through other land, the northern part of White Sands Missile Range.
Right.
Lord knows there's plenty of room there, and you never see anything happening there, yet two people from this state
don't want it?
Yeah, they're both Republicans, Susanna Pearce and Steve Martinez. Yeah, those two.
Steve Pearce and Susanna Martinez don't want the power line to go through White Sands Missile Range. Why?
Because it's worth $1.2 billion to local economy.
No, they will say that they said that it's going to damage Homeland Security.
Is that what they're saying? Because we can't do all our testing that far north.
The defense of our nation would be at stake.
Whenever do we do testing that far? And in fact, I understand that when they do have missiles that go really far, they land them in other military bases.
Well, sometimes they fire from there down to here. Now, if there's another power line going across, it's going to be at the northern edge.
Yeah.
Power line going at the northern edge of White Sands Missile Range.
So what's the risk there, Mark?
Well, I don't know, because when you drive down Highway 70 through White Sands Missile Range, there's a power line right next to the highway.
That's true.
Why is that not a problem?
I don't know.
But this one would be.
And actually, if they actually hit the wire, well, they'd obviously have an erroneous missile. But if they know what they're doing, they won't hit the wire. Even if they hit the wire, it just stops electricity for a while.
Then they fix the wire.
Yes, unlike what would happen to the Continental Oil Pipeline. They want to run from Canada down to the south. If that gets broken, you are loaded with toxic oil. I mean, really bad toxicity.
Well, it's under pressure.
But that's okay. The Republicans like that.
They like that.
Because, I don't know, it's going to give millions or actually I think it came out to like 2,000 jobs to people for a limited time.
Only until it's built.
Yeah.
It doesn't really, I don't see how that's going to help us because
once it's over, it's over.
They're sending it to Galveston where they're going to load it onto ships and off it'll go.
Yeah, and we lose oil. So it's ridiculous. So, you know, you look for logic in why you don't want a electric power line going through your hardly ever used land, but a toxic pipeline going through land that people apparently live in and drink water from.
They probably wouldn't have a problem with it going through White Sands Missile Range, though, the pipeline.
No, because it's oil. It's oil. And we just want to state our views.
You know what? If they want to,
we never state our views.
If they want to pass that pipeline, all they have to do is make us uncomfortable, raise the price of gasoline way high, and we'll let them put that pipeline to the baby's crib.
What? To the baby's crib?
To the baby's crib. Just give me some oil.
I never heard that phrase. Yes. Anyway, why don't they just take the oil from Canada, make energy out of it, and then energize everything, and then you don't have to ship it anywhere?
Well, you know what? They're taking that. They said they
maybe
have to take
Maria will answer that.
They have to take it to a refinery. Instead of building a pipeline to a refinery, why don't build a refinery next to the source?
I don't know why they can't do that.
That creates jobs too.
Look, I think we're on to wind power.
Oh.
You know, in 1975, I invested in a company called Wind Baron, and they were going to make electric energy out of those
Wind?
things.
Well, you're obviously ahead of your time, Michael.
I was, and that stock, I think
what
I
happened to it?
lost every penny.
It blew away, right?
That was 1975. But here, we're seeing these pop up all over the place,
Well, why not? We have the wind.
We do.
It's free.
It was pretty windy last weekend. In fact, this
ruined
entire
everybody's
week it's
weekend.
pretty bad. So
It ruined the Border Book Festival. It ruined the Lavinia Wine Festival. It ruined the Country Music Festival.
the rodeo.
Ruined the rodeo. As
the
university.
rodeo?
Yeah.
Why
do they schedule these things this time of year?
Because the windy season's supposed to be March. It ruined that Chinese kite flying contest they had.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, remember that? No, because there was too much wind. Couldn't do it.
So, anyway, wind power.
Yeah, what is it?
If we had wind power, we wouldn't need that pipeline, that's for sure.
No, we wouldn't.
In fact, the
more money goes into that pipeline and more energy. It goes into toxic energy.
Isn't that power line transferring power that's from
wind energy?
Wind and solar?
Yes, which is pretty healthy.
So
the only thing it does is sometimes chop up birds, but you got to admit they're a lot easier to eat that way.
Well, they do lose a fair number of birds in these turbines.
Well, they probably lose it if there's a toxic oil spill in the
lose
Gulf. I mean, look at all the birds that get slammed by oil all over their wings.
That's a bad way to go.
I hate it. Every time I die that way, it's sad.
We're talking about bad air quality when the wind blows. If we had enough of these windmills, it would blow the sand away, and then it'd be clear. It'd clear up the air, wouldn't it?
You know how people in the old days used to have dirt floors?
Yeah.
How did they know when they were done sweeping?
That's true.
I don't know. So it doesn't make sense. But we have the wind. Might as well use it. We also have. We're right on track here.
We have air quality.
8th worst air in America. 8th worst. Yes.
But that's only when it's windy, right?
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Is that El Paso?
He can't see what? No, it's
or is it
New York.
Riyadh?
It looks like New York. It could be. It's a big city, and when you talk about bad air quality, you're usually talking about the quality because of cars.
It's like Shanghai,
smoke.
Yeah, pollution.
And we know Mexico City that could be Mexico City. I don't know. It could be.
Might as well be. I mean, it could be anywhere.
Larger Chinese cities, everybody wears masks. That's what we're going to have to do. Wear masks.
Well, I've seen people in Los Angeles do that.
Yeah, they do. And you know what? If we got little nice lips painted on them, a little bit of your nose, I think people would be perfectly comfortable.
I lived in Los Angeles for a long, long time, and they say that the
and when you left,
pollution,
the air got better.
It did.
Oh, yeah.
The pollution that you see is not the worst of it. The stuff you don't see is even worse than what you do see.
Well,
in my case, I don't trust any pollution I can't see.
Or see. Remember diesel exhaust you can see.
You can't
but apparently it falls to the ground. It doesn't really pollute the air.
Well,
pollutes the ground.
Pollutes the ground, and then it rains and washes it down.
What else we got going here? We only have how many minutes left?
No, I got 10 more minutes.
Oh, okay. Good. We'll just take a break here. And breathe.
This weekend.
Did anybody bring ice cream?
This weekend is Free Comic Book Day. Did you know that? Nationwide.
I wouldn't have known it had I not read it, and you didn't tell me about it because I immediately forgot about it.
Well, and
did you ever go to one of those things?
I thought Sheldon Cooper was your idol.
I like Leonard as well. We're talking about the Big Bang Theater. Right? No, I am Wolowitz.
You are Wolowitz?
I identify with Wolowitz.
Okay. And his mother?
I identify my mother with his mother.
We are talking about the Big Bang Theory. When you're in television, you know everybody else in television.
Yes.
That's how it works.
They watch us. You know how you watch us and we watch you while you're in your living room? Well, when we watch them, they see us.
They do. Well, they have a way they can see. We can see you right now. We have a way. And I wish that guy would put his pants on because it's...
I don't wish that.
You wouldn't.
We need something to keep ourselves awake.
Anyway, today is Free Comic Book Day. And down at Zia Comics.
Where is that? Do you have the address?
1300 Idaho. At the Idaho Crossing Shopping Center. Where the food co-op is.
Oh, yes.
That's where Zia Comic is. And from 12 to 7, you can go down there. There's a big event going on. There will be an 8-foot tall Wookiee.
8-foot tall Wookiee. Is that one of those hairy creatures?
Yes.
You got a picture of a Wookiee?
There will be people of the...
Apparently that's a Star Trek thing, right?
Yes.
What else is there?
People from all kinds of comic books.
You don't want to say these words because you can't pronounce...
Because I can't read them.
I
don't read Klingon.
Klingon. But anyway, that's going to be there.
People in costume will be there. There will be free comic books available. And of course, you can buy comic books too while you're there.
That's true. And you can also see your other comic book people who are
and I know Michael
devotees.
Will be there. He'll be dressed up as, I don't know, Starship Trooper or something. And come up and say hello if you see us there. We'd love to see you.
Maybe we'll be there. We'll do a special thing. We will sign every comic we are in.
Every comic book we've written, we'll sign.
And anyone we started, because we get a lot of cameos. You know, people mention us all the time, especially cartoonists from Las Cruces.
Now,
there are Las Cruces comic people.
There are people who do write comics, and I hope they're there. In fact, there will be people on hand signing their comics.
That's right. Should be exciting.
And graphic novels. So come on down and see that.
Get a free comic.
Now, just to alert people, today there's a pet adoption going on. Yes. Safe Haven dog adoptions will be going on today.
Oh, you got to see these cute pets.
PetSmart.
The cutest pets there.
PetSmart from until 3 o'clock today.
What you see on the TV is not necessarily the pets you will be adopting.
No, but they're representative of what you will see.
Yes, like one's a cat and the other is
it's a beagle.
Oh, is that a beagle? I thought it was like a very tall alligator.
It's a beagle. No. And
there is in the paper this week they talked about the pet hotel, which sounds very exciting. I mean, there are a number of pet.
It's a dog hotel,
places.
Really, isn't it?
Yeah.
For dogs
only.
And
cats. No, it's dogs and cats.
It's restricted to dogs and cats.
No, and they pet your cat's tummy or something, or
they'll wash your dog for you.
Yes. So
they'll board it for you while you go out of town.
There are a number of places like that, so it's not necessarily new. It's just they are calling it a hotel.
Well, they said they're.
What's the name of it? It's
they're giving it extra room so the dogs aren't
they say
concentrated in there.
Pet Planet.
Pet Planet?
Yes.
Where is it?
It's
out of town, right?
It's right here. No, it's on Sandcastle Avenue. Any idea where Sandcastle Avenue? 971 Kit Castle. Probably. You don't want a lot of pets in town yapping up the place.
They have an outdoors area where the pets can run around and play. And
actually, most pet places do have that.
That's
all our friends who have pets take their place
when they board them.
Yeah. It's like when they have to, stay out late at night.
And when you do board your pet, when you take them in, take along something that they're familiar with, like a blanket they sleep on, or their bed, or some of their toys, so they have something familiar with them.
Your refrigerator.
While they're in a very unfamiliar place.
You're so kind. Did you ever board your pet? You have a pet?
Yeah, I did.
Where do you board it? Outside? You just kick it out the house and let the coyotes take care of it?
My pets are bored.
You're boarding them?
Well, they're cats. Cats are always bored.
They're not bored. They're totally in life. Don't you ever watch Garfield? He's happy with what he's doing.
So he is. Now, also this weekend, tonight, late at night, like I think
late at night.
2 in the morning, Avenida de Mesilla will be closed at the interstate, at Interstate 10, because they're replacing the bridge there.
Yeah, it's about time. Oh my gosh, that's probably what they're doing.
They're replacing another section of the bridge, so that'll be closed tonight. So, if you're planning on going to Mesilla or from Mesilla.
Or out of Mesilla. Most people are in Mesilla. That'll be great for all the people at Palacios hanging out.
That also means that the interstate will be closed as well.
No, they shift them to one side.
Oh, well.
They shift them to side, okay. So that'll happen. But you can't get around that if you're going down Avenida de Mesilla. So if you're thinking of Luna Rosa.
So people driving home drunk that night.
Yeah, they'll be surprised.
They're going to have to make a detour.
They're not going to know how to get home because there is no way to get home.
Well, you know that the DWI checkpoint will be on the detour around here.
Yeah, it'll be there. What else? Oh, before we go, Murderers is playing at the Black Box Theater. It got a great review in the Bulletin.
Oh, it did?
And what else playing?
At the University. At the
University still Misanthrope. I heard that was very good. So you have 2 good theatrical things to do. And I think we're almost ready for Pat to come on.
Yeah, so we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back after these commercial words.
In Maine, see you there.
Celebrate Fiesta Motors. We're buying a car. It's always a celebration.
Welcome back to Double Talk. I'm Mark Steffen, and joining me in the studio is Pat Bellestri Martinez of Soledad Earth Builders, Soledad Canyon Earth Builders.
Hi, Mark. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks for joining us today on the show.
You're welcome.
What is Soledad Canyon Earth Builders?
Well, we are a custom home construction company. We build rammed earth homes primarily, although we do frame construction. Our niche is rammed earth homes, and been doing that for 30 years.
I've been in a lot of the homes you've built.
Yeah, over the years.
Most of them were in the Showcase of Homes, which is going on right now. Mm-hmm. And I must say, they're usually one of my top 1 or 2 favorite houses in the entire show. And I recommend people go to the Showcase of Homes this weekend. It's the final weekend for it.
Yes.
Saturday and Sunday. And your home is, where is it?
It's number 12. It's at 4396 East Leta Court, which is in the Pueblos. If you take Sonoma Ranch Road, get off the highway there, go up to North Rise, take a left. At the end of North Rise, you'll find us right there with the big fuchsia flags.
North
Easy to
Rise
find.
pretty much dead ends,
Yes.
so you have to turn right.
Yes.
And you go in there, and it's the first house on your
Right there.
Yeah, you can't miss
And
it.
so, Showcase of Homes, Las Cruces Home Builders Association, 41st Showcase of Homes. Been doing
Wow.
it for many years. And we have 31 homes in the showcase. And so a lot of neat houses to go and visit and check out what's new on the market and maybe find a new home for yourself. So
Yes, or find a builder to make your next house.
absolutely. That's
And
the
that's
one
what you
we
do.
like. We
Yes.
do. Yeah. Yeah.
Custom built.
The home we are showing this year is a custom home. It's handicap accessible. So those of you who aren't usually able to visit Showcase Homes, come and see us because you can get in there.
You can get in, you can get
Yes.
around,
You can
and
get
you can
around.
get through it.
Yes.
Now, there's 30. You said there's 31 homes.
Yes.
That's kind of a low number, isn't it?
In the peak, we were in the 50s, but for the last few years, it's, that's a good number. 31 homes is.
Well, yeah, and if you're traveling around trying to see all these homes,
Yeah.
that's a good number. You can get to them easily.
Yeah.
I think last weekend I saw 12 of them.
Yeah.
So I'm almost halfway through,
Yeah.
and I don't want to see all of them, but I like to see the best
Yeah.
ones.
Yeah.
And you get to see what state of the art in home building this year. Now, your house also has a display going on in it.
Okay, so this year we wanted to, I have a friend, David Shaw, who is a photographer, and for the last 9 months, he has been visiting Mesilla Valley Community of Hope, Tent City, and photographing the people living there. And we're looking at all these photographs and saying, David's thinking, we need to show people these things. Each of those photographs tells a story. So we created this event. The opening was last weekend, but it goes through this weekend. In the garage, our garage gallery, we have over 100 photographs of the people living in Tent City who have been there, have left there, are still there. And so it's a very moving exhibit.
And these are basically homeless people living in Las Cruces in Tent City, which the city has allowed to exist there on the grounds of the Community of Hope.
Correct.
How many people live there?
40 to 50.
Outdoors?
Yes.
And then some live indoors
Yes.
overnight?
Right. Well, no, they live in the tents. And the community there has rules. There is no breaking the rules or you're out of there. It's a transition place. Someone homeless can come live there, get help from the Mesilla Valley Community of Hope for healthcare services, to get their paperwork. The veterans need help sometimes. Their records aren't easily accessible. Find a job. So it's a transition place.
And you mentioned to me earlier that many of these people are veterans
Yes.
that are homeless.
Yes. Yes.
And so they need services that maybe they weren't getting, and the Community of Hope assists them in getting the things they
Right,
need
right.
to get them off the streets and into a job or into a house of their own.
So our friends with the Border Artists are displaying their artwork in our showcase home. And so these three entities came together and we said, we want to do a fundraiser for the Community of Hope. So 25% of the proceeds on any sale of the art that's on display will go to the Community of Hope.
Yes, you have artwork throughout the house.
Throughout the house.
Hanging on the walls.
Yes.
And it's some good stuff by local artists.
Very well-known artists.
They
The
are.
Border Artists Group is the oldest artist organization in the area. Carolyn Bunch, I'm sure many people know. Sherry Doyle Carter.
Rosemary McLaughlin has one in
Yes,
there.
Rosemary's in there. There's 20 artists in there. And David is one of the border artists, David Shaw. And so this is why we all came together to put this event on. And so it's going through this weekend.
Right, and there's a picture of Community of Hope during the snowstorm.
Yes, I mean,
I see a
these-
teepee in the background. Somebody lives in a teepee down there.
Yes, that is, some of the conditions they live under. It's amazing thinking about it.
And in these high winds that we have, we hope their tents don't blow away,
Yeah.
but it could happen.
Yeah, on Saturday, these last few days have been pretty rough. And this is photograph of some of those conditions.
Yes.
I mean,
Now, I was there at your house last Saturday. I saw the photographs on the wall of the garage. You even have a tent set up in there.
yeah, just a visual.
Just to give you a hint of how some
Yeah.
people are living out there
Yeah.
at the Community of Hope.
Yeah.
You also have a donation box
Yes.
where anybody who wants to give a few extra dollars, that'll all go to the Community
All
of
to the
Hope, right?
community. Yes, that total amount will go right to them. If you're not, you've got your art set up in your home, you're good to go there, you can still donate. And
Now, do you know anything about the history of the Community of Hope? It hasn't always been like this, I know.
no, it isn't. And I'm not totally privy to, or I have not been involved enough to give you a history of it. But it's a successful organization. They meet weekly. There's people coming from other parts of the country to study what is happening here because it's very successful. I mean, the rules are the rules. And there's the other services in the Community of Hope. The Jardín de los Niños are there, the soup kitchen's there. So it's a conglomerate of a lot of organizations under the umbrella of the Mesilla Valley Community of Hope.
And that's run by the City of Las Cruces,
The
right?
property is owned by the City of Las Cruces. So it's a nonprofit organization there. So.
Okay.
So donations, of course,
And
are
it's right next to the
tax-deductible.
soup kitchen.
Yes.
Where people come and get their meals.
Yes,
And I've actually had lunch there.
yes.
And they serve Thanksgiving and Christmas meal.
Yeah.
You know, it's. I'm glad that Las Cruces has a place like this, is because some people need it, and so help them out if you can, and stop by Pat's house. And what's the address again?
4396 Isleta Court.
Isleta Court.
Yes.
Now, that's a street that probably wasn't there a few years ago because it's literally on the edge of town. Yeah, you look out and you can see the edge of the desert is right there.
Yeah.
So it's a new neighborhood, and so most of the houses are brand new, like yours. And how long did it take you to build that house?
That house, 18-inch rammed earth walls, it was constructed in about 7 months. Yeah, it's a 2,560 square foot home. And again, I'll mention 18-inch thick walls.
What is rammed earth anyway?
Rammed earth is it's earth. It's instead of blocks of adobe, it's one big monolithic wall of adobe.
It's adobe, mud, or dirt.
It's dirt. It's not moist and wet like adobe. It's just barely moist.
And
And we tamp it into forms and create a wall that's 10 feet tall or whatever the configuration of the house is.
And how thick is it?
18 inches.
18 inches. So it's great. It's got a great R value.
It has a great U value.
Oh.
The strength of earth is its mass. So, and that is a U value. R value is the resistance. The U value is the time of transmission. So it holds that temperature. So your interior of your home and the walls are more constant. We insulate the outside of that wall.
Oh, you do?
Yes,
With
foam, 1.5 inches of foam insulation on the outside of that wall.
So I would think if I had a house like that, my utility bills
Oh my
would
gosh.
be very
We
low.
recently received a testimonial letter from one of our clients that we built 2 years ago, and he gave us a report of his utility bills for 2013. This house is a big one. It's over 5,700 square feet. His utility bills for the year were just over $200
For the entire-
totally, for everything.
Did he have solar panels?
Yes, and that is the reason.
No, he didn't have to pay electricity.
Right, and he received the money back, so that's paying for the other utilities.
Right, for his
So-
heat, for his gas, if he has
Right.
that, and water and so
Yep.
forth.
Yep. So
$200 for the entire year.
for the 200 and
Whatever.
change.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean,
Yeah,
Yes.
I've been to your house, and he's smack on the wall, and it's solid. You don't hear a hollowness like you do with everybody else's
yeah.
house.
You always say, "What's in the wall? Knock on the wall." Yeah.
And your homes have a high quality to them as well. You can look up at the ceiling and see, what beautifully done, whatever you call
the
that.
vigas,
the vigas,
the
and
cedar, yes, yeah.
yeah.
And the windows are a really key part of our walls system,
yes.
our envelope, the building envelope. The windows are casement windows, and you shut those babies, they crank it down, and they're sealed up. So that wind on Saturday,
Didn't get in.
oh no, you don't feel it. You just see through the window that it's windy.
And those poor guys over there, they're feeling it because
Yeah.
her house is kind of leaky, but not yours.
Yeah. So
Are you building one now?
we have the plans to
Getting
start
ready?
another one. Yeah.
What part of
Yeah.
town?
We have built, this house that we're at is our 76th rammed earth home
Wow.
since we started doing
In 30
rammed
years
earth
ago.
homes. Yeah.
76.
Yeah, of rammed earth. We built lots of frame homes too, but
Mm-hmm.
the rammed earth, it's our 76th.
Well, that's your specialty.
Yeah, yeah. And I take note of that because we were kind of curious, and when we completed the 75th, it was kind of a milestone.
Yeah.
So we, now I can keep track of it for a little while.
Right. So, what part of town is your next house going
The
to be?
new one will be out Soledad Canyon Road.
Way out.
Yeah.
Way out behind A Mountain.
Yeah,
That's kind of where your house is.
it is.
Where you live.
From 30 years ago. Yeah, yeah.
And you still
Yeah.
live in it.
Yeah, I still live in it. Yeah.
Okay. Well, once again, to wrap up, Showcase of Homes is this weekend, the final weekend, and the hours on Saturday are
From 10 o'clock to 7 o'clock,
Saturday.
and Sunday from 12 noon to 5
o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Right.
Yep.
So if you're out and about, running around, want to stop in and see some nice houses, stop into your first house and you can pick up the book that has the map of where all the other houses are. Stop in and see Pat's house first, and then start from there, because that's once you see her house, all the other houses will pale by comparison.
Thanks, Mark.
So, well, thanks for joining us, Pat, and also when you stop by her house, in connection with the Mesilla Valley Community of Hope, you'll be able to see the photographs on the wall there, and buy a painting there at her house, and proceeds of that will go to the Community of Hope, and you can also make a donation while you're there.
And
So
see
thanks.
some beautiful art from
And
the
some
border
beautiful art.
artist.
See some beautiful art, and maybe even take some home.
Yeah.
So thanks for joining us today,
Thanks,
Pat. I
Mark.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
And thanks to you for joining us right here on another episode of Double Talk.